Hi, my name's Sophie Aldred, and whenever I'm in Newburyport, I always make sure I watch Thank God It's Full of Stars, the science fiction show for the 90s.
For the 150th story of Doctor Who in 1987, director Chris Clough wanted to find an actress who looked younger than her age and who could ride a motorbike. He found the combination in stage and TV actress Sophie Aldred, who was cast as Ace in the upcoming story Dragonfire. She remained in the series until its untimely end in 1989. We met the lovely Sophie Aldred at Stony Brook, Long Island in 1995.
Since you've been out of Doctor Who, you've done, well, I heard you talk the other day, and you've done stuff that's sort of the same, but stuff that's quite a departure as well. Yes. Like you were in a restoration comedy. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah, sure.
I was in a restoration comedy, which was an adaptation of The Country Wife, and it was called Lust. And I played a character called Marjorie Pinchwife, who was a seemingly innocent young girl who turned out to be a bit raunchy, actually, in the end. Yeah, I had a really good time. It was good to do a musical, nice to do a bit of singing. And we were in this fantastic theatre called the Theatre Royal Haymarket, which is one of London's best-known theatres. It's a beautiful building. And it was my first West End show, which was great, and I was playing a lead part too, which was even better. So I've been doing that. And also a lot of children's TV.
Right.
I do a lot of presenting and mainly stuff to do with singing or something musical. And I do a show for cable, a children's cable network called the Children's Channel, which is a bit like the Family Channel or Nickelodeon. And I play a character called Sophie Socket, and I work with two little puppets, and it's a bit mad. And what else do I do? Oh, and I do a live TV show on Friday nights, and I present a show about love and sex, would you believe? So it's sort of either one thing or the other with me. It's either preschool children or it's sex and lust.
Right, both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm writing a book about Doctor Who, which is going to come out next year. And it's all about what I got up to on Doctor Who, really.
Yeah, he just wants to ask something. That's right.
It's 2:30. Do you want to?
Oh, right. What about say 2:45? Yeah.
2:45.
Yeah, 2:45. Yeah, great. Thanks, Paul.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. People turning up and then yes, tell them that I've been on the void of detained.
No, that's right. Let me check, but that sounds right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Could you tell us about the book?
Yes, the book. It's called Ace, and it's about really, basically, a friend and I had loads of photographs from Doctor Who that haven't been published. They were photographs that we took backstage of us playing around and fooling around and things, and also lots of model shots and visual effects and stuff like that. And we decided to get them together and do a book. So I rang up the publisher, and he said, yeah, that would really be great. We were going to do it about Sylvester's years as the Doctor, and then he said, no, I think you should do it about your character, you know, why not call it Ace and do it about you? So yeah, it's going really well. I'm working on Ghostlight at the moment. In fact, I was scribbling the beginning of the chapter this very morning, and it's going to be my reminiscences and photos and bits and pieces as well. We've got all sorts of. We've got the original breakdown of the outline for my character. Oh, we've got lots of interesting kind of memorabilia. We've got lots of costume designs and stuff which have never been seen before, so it should be good.
Yeah, that story had a good.
Oh, and another thing we've done is that the New Adventures Ace is very different, as you're probably aware.
Yes.
She dresses up in rubber and carries a big meaty gun. So what we decided to do for one of the cover photographs, we've actually dressed me up as the New Adventures Ace, and their photos are quite something actually. They're great. We got the BBC to help us out with them, and Mike, who I'm writing the book with, is in the visual effects department at the BBC, So he managed to get a hold of a Dalek as well, and we set fire to this Dalek, and it was great fun.
Sounds like.
So they're actually working the other way around instead of the show being, I mean, the books being from what you were doing. You're doing something that the book did.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite funny actually. Yeah.
Were you pleased the way that the Ace character developed in the show itself?
I was very pleased. I mean, I've talked to quite a few of the other companions, and they've always been disappointed with the way their characters ended up. They were always promised things which never actually happened. But with my character, I don't know why, it was just so happened that people really seemed to cotton on to the fact that the tomboyishness and the rebellious qualities and throwing explosives around and beating up Daleks with a baseball bat seemed to appeal. And so I was given a lot to do, which was really nice. And in fact, the last season was actually kind of in a way more about the Doctor taking my character around the universe and showing her, facing her fears and things like that, which was good.
Yeah,
Were
seemed
you
like
talking about the book's development of the
Well, I
character,
actually asked about these series, because I know she hasn't read all the books, and neither have I actually.
Yeah.
Read some of them though. Yeah, I think they did develop, more motivation for the character as it went along. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Sometimes it's easier to develop a character that's a child becoming an adult
Yeah.
more than it is someone who's already
Yeah,
the way
that's
they
true.
are.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. And especially when you've got a teenager, I mean, there's a lot of scope for problems
Right.
with a
Inner
character
turmoil.
like that. Yeah. The angst of a teenager.
Just to get off the Doctor Who bit, can you tell us a good film you've seen lately?
I liked Pulp Fiction. I didn't think I would like it because it had so much hype, and
Right, yeah.
and my boyfriend didn't like it, and
Yeah.
then I went when I was over here last actually. I thought it was great. I like the black humour of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of quite shocking, but that you find yourself laughing at somebody having their head blown off.
Well, I
in the
haven't
back of
seen
a
it
car.
because we didn't get into it.
They
Oh,
actually
right.
showed that clip on a comedy awards show here as a
Really?
comedy sequence of Marvin getting his head blown off in the back of the
Oh,
car.
wow,
So that
it's
was
amazing.
kind of odd.
And I really like Generations as well. I've seen that twice.
Yeah.
Although
We could have a heated debate about that one.
It's funny because I'm not a Star Trek watcher at all. I mean, I remember occasionally watching the old dodgy ones with Captain Kirk landing on a polystyrene planet and falling in love with some nubile alien. But I haven't watched it for a long time. So it was great to see what's happened to it subsequently. And I cried 3 times. Isn't that embarrassing? And then I went to see it in London as well. We took my boyfriend's father, who's 81, and he hadn't seen a film since he saw 2001 when it came out in 1960-something. So he hadn't seen a film for 25 years.
Wow.
In the theatre,
yeah. So we took him to the Empire Leicester Square, which is this enormous place with surround sound, and it's absolutely amazing, and lasers and things before the show and stuff like that. And he was... I thought that he'd love the show, I thought that it would be just his cup of tea and that he'd be like going, oh, wow, this is amazing. And his comment was, we went out and he said, I said, did you enjoy it? And he said, it was too loud. And I said, oh, did you like the film? He said, didn't understand a word of it. So I think it will be another 25 years before he goes to see another film.
Wow. Actually, when you did Paul's convention, you mentioned you like doing a lot of sports-minded stuff, like scuba diving and stuff. Do you still get to do a lot of that kind of stuff?
I haven't recently. I'm one of these people who keeps incredibly fit for about 6 months, and I go to the gym and I work out and I go swimming and I play lots of sports. And then all of a sudden I'll give it up and just become a complete slob for another 6 months.
Yeah.
And then look at myself in the mirror one morning and think, oh my God! And start all over again. There must be a happy balance somewhere, but I haven't quite found it yet. Mind you, I bought myself one of those ridiculous stepping machines.
Oh, yeah.
It's
My
just
girlfriend got one of those 2 weeks ago.
It's great, and I've been, because I can watch TV or listen to the radio or talk to somebody. And in fact, I've had many a phone call recently where I've been on my step machine and I've been talking on the phone like this, and it was my brother actually last week who said, have you been running? He said, you sound a bit out of breath. I said, no, I'm just on my step machine.
That's always funny. gotta get one of those headphone phones that you don't have to hold.
Yeah,
it to
that's
your
a good
ear.
idea.